Rápido pasa una camioneta.
It is to absolutely nobody's surprise that the shipping communities of any fandom are just incredibly dreadful to interact with, and honestly, it's just getting worse. In 2015, we fought and won for same-sex marriage to be legalized, and now we're fighting in TikTok comment sections over whether a character is gay or not. I do want to show both sides though, and I want to bring up a little bit of history about a topic that I've been really wanting to talk about, because don't get me wrong, there's a lot of people that are homophobic and are attacking these ships like satosugu and soriku, but there's a lot more people who are just genuinely so obsessed over ships that I need to talk about as well. So I'm gonna do this as quick as possible. Fujoshis. Fujoshi is a term that at this point is an insult, but it basically means a woman who enjoys BL or boys love content or prefers it. Fudanshi is basically the opposite, which is men who enjoy women's or girls love content. Now personally, I see no problem with either of these terms. Neither do I see a problem with anybody who could designate these terms to themselves. At the end of the day, it's just fictional content or a preference of fictional content, and I really don't see a big deal with it at all. But that is until you get obsessed with it. The Fujoshi term has a really deep history, and I feel like this video that I'm showing on the screen right now, you should totally watch it. Of course, I'm going to give you the context, but maybe watch it after. It's a really deep and very interesting history. Essentially, the way women used the word Fujoshi was to reclaim the amount of hate, the amount of misogyny that was happening to them at the time when they made their own pieces of art, where they expressed in their art more taboo things, more things that people didn't really want to talk about that did happen in real life. And even though there's gay romance, there was a lot of other serious topics that were explored other than it just being gay. Now, I'm not gonna join whatever pro or anti-dumb online discourse that people are arguing about online, because I feel like it's incredibly stupid and I don't really want to get into it. Mostly because I have a life and go outside and have friends and family, and I obviously won't fall under the category of weirdos. But I can't lie, the term Fujoshi has a bad connotation for a good reason, and that's because a lot of fetishizers ended up getting into the community and making it look bad. Also, what's weird is that Fudanshis never get the same amount of hate that Fujoshis do. I don't know if this is like a misogynistic thing or just a part of the history, but I have no clue. But how does this relate to ship culture? How does this relate to satosugu? It's the fact that a lot of people who are against the satosugu ship do use the term Fujoshi to insult people who do enjoy it. Not only that, but they argue that a majority of the shippers are fetishizers, which I guess we will never have a solid answer on that, but I highly doubt it. There's something that I completely agree with the anti-satosugu people though. It's the overuse of the term canon. And honestly, I feel like this radicalization didn't even come from Jujutsu Kaisen. I think it came from Genshin Impact, and I'm 100% genuine with that. So anyways, I wrote a bunch of crimes that this community has done when it comes down to characters and using the word canon or headcanon or whatever like that, and I'm gonna read it out for you. This is to give you an idea of why some people are hesitant to support or to join this sort of very radical shipping culture that is incredibly weird. Okay, so 1. Theory crafting the relationships of characters to a point where the only thing the community adds up with them is the possibility that they're gay, ignoring the rest of their character development. 2. Do the exact same thing with races or ethnicity, even though it's incredibly futile due to the fact that the worlds are fictional. 3. Incessantly call a ship canon even though one of the people who is supposedly partaking in this relationship has been physically assaulted multiple times by the other and has said that they want nothing to do with the other. Yes, that's real. 4. Constantly misuses words like canon and headcanon. Headcanon is a term that is used to complement a character's mannerisms or actions. And canon is used to say that something is descriptively true, said by or written by the author. No, your ship is not canon unless it is stated that it is. Also, the word implied, keep that away from the shipping community. 5. Straight ships are constantly attacked and are said to be taking away representation, even though none of the characters are in a relationship or even canonically gay. Now, I have no problems with gay ships, but when these crazy shippers come for me for shipping 2 legal adults like Diluc and Jean, but proceed to do nothing about people who ship Child and Bennett, it makes me scratch my head. Like, y'all, where are the priorities? Y'all are making me homophobic. But yeah, the people who are against satosugu could have definitely been because of all of this sort of like shipping culture that has started showing up recently. And for the people who hate the ship with their lives, a lot of the time the people who do hate the ship that much, it tends to be because of the actual shippers, not because of the actual ship. I would be annoyed too. And the thing about it too is that I do get annoyed. Anyways, let me read this out. And the person who says that, girl, this video is bait, that's the person who I disagree with. Anyways, I'll read this whole thing. The shipping isn't the problem. People can ship whoever they want together. It's just annoying when they say it's canon or when they say the romantic implications are canon when it's not confirmed. Girl, this video is bait, plus satosugu implications are romantic indeed, by the way, says who. I don't care if the video is bait, still stating my opinion. Yeah, if you feel like there's implications, that's your opinion. It's not fact, nor is it canon, which is real. And they're like, girl, you can't be for real. So annoying. And literally their reasoning for why they think the ship is canon be the most friendship, most best friend type shit ever. I'm not saying that the ship couldn't be canon. I'm just saying that a lot of people could interpret it as platonic as well. And before y'all get up in my comments saying, oh, Gojo, he wanted him for 10 years. Oh my god. Like, bro, if my friend died, if my friend went missing, if, like, I can't even say if, because I did have a friend who passed away, and I still think about them all the time. Like, I would give anything to get them back, you know? It's like saying Genesis and Angel from Final Fantasy VII Crisis Core is canon or implied because they grew up together and ran away together. But anyone who plays Final Fantasy will just know that that's kind of silly. But back to satosugu. Yeah, not saying that they couldn't be in a relationship or that the characters couldn't be, you know, headcanoned as in a relationship. However, it is very possible and very easy to see them as platonic. That's also why these satosugu shippers need to stop overreacting, because goddamn, if your solution to every single problem is telling people to f themselves and also to dox them, well, you're actually cooked. Life isn't gonna work like that in the future. As much as I yapped about my dislike for the shippers of satosugu, I do think that the ship is actually alright. I do think that the ship is actually pretty good. Now, would I go as far as to say that it's canon, or have a video of myself literally having a mental breakdown over the fact that some people just don't see the chemistry between the characters? No, I would not. And the amount of people who have made videos doing exactly that is pretty egregious, but I'm not surprised because Jujutsu Kaisen is a really large, popular anime. Watching those videos to educate myself on this entire topic, though, kind of did, it did give me secondhand embarrassment. And yeah, I want to hear your guys' opinions on this situation, especially on any other situations that have happened, because I know a lot of situations have happened that are literally just like this one. Like the people who shipped Kairi and Sora attacking people who shipped Soriku, and I'll yap about that for a little bit. In the Satosugu situation, it seemed like both sides were kind of going at it, right? But in the Soriku situation, it's really mostly just the people who ship Sora and Kairi going after people who ship Sora and Riku. And Sora and Riku is a gay ship, and then Sora and Kairi is a straight ship, right? And the same arguments basically are being said. It's like history repeating itself. Basically, they're saying, oh, they're just friends, but my ship is better, sort of type shit, and that goes for even both of them. I'm sure there's a few people in the people who ship Sora and Riku who are pretty toxic, but that's only because it's a bigger ship. But the fact that I see a lot of people who ship Sora and Kairi arguing with people who ship Sora and Riku, and they're usually in the wrong. I just had to mention it because that's also something that is basically in the same topic, so I don't have to make another video about it. I really don't want to. Actually, no, I kind of would want to, but I also don't at the same time because I'm pretty lazy, so I'll just throw it in here. And for what I ship, I would say that I ship anything that is not weird, or so long as it's not weird. And I respect any shippers. I literally respect any people who ship anything, because ultimately it's not that big of a deal and everything is fictional, and I prefer real life. I prefer living in the real life. And of course, I support freedom of speech, so I know who to stay away from. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it so much. Literally, y'all have no idea, and I'll see y'all with the next video.